Let's talk about fear. Not your character's fears, but your own as a writer, because I know I have been there. I wrote 10 books in 8 years before I sold my first one, and I had a lot of moments of doubt, a lot of moments of I can't do this. Believe me, I had been really successful in my nonfiction career, but then when I went to write fiction, it was not so successful so quickly. It really took some time for me to learn my craft and to become a better writer. I think fear is broken down into a couple different categories when it comes to writers. Fear of failure and fear of success, and then I think fear of the next step. Fear of failure is when you're totally afraid to finish the book and put it out there and fail miserably. You've told all these people about your book, you've told your family, you've told your friends, you've told your beta readers, and then if you release it, what if it does terribly? And so that fear of failure can keep you stuck on chapter 1 or chapter 10 and keep you from finishing that book and getting it out there. Now here's the fact. Failure is a possibility, without a doubt. There's so much content out there and so many things for people to choose from that it is a very real possibility that your book will not become a bestseller, because that's a very hard nut to crack. I've been on bestseller lists and I've had books that tanked, and sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to why one tanked and one did really, really well. It's sort of like just getting fairy dust sprinkled on you. So when I release a book, I don't think about how it's going to perform, because that will really keep me from writing. There's also fear of success. The first time that I hit a bestseller list, I remember sitting at my computer for like 3 days, unable to write a word. I looked at the book that had hit the bestseller list and thought, oh my gosh, my publisher's going to expect me to do that again. I don't know what made that book magic and hit a bestseller list and this one didn't, or this one won't. I had no idea what the secret sauce was for that particular book to hit bestseller list. Here's the secret. There is no secret sauce. It's sometimes the right time, the right face of the moon, the right cover, the right audience, the right whatever. It can be a million different factors that puts your book in front of readers at the right moment in time to make it become a bestseller. Then other times when maybe the planets don't all align the way you want them to and the book doesn't do as well as you expected. That's okay, because you're putting your work out there and you're telling those stories, and trust me, there's going to be a reader that is touched by it. My way of dealing with that was to not look at sales. When I release a book and I'm working on one, I do not look at the sales of the one that is out there. I don't want to know what its ranking is or how it's doing or whether it hit a bestseller list or it didn't. I just don't look at sales, period. Now there are times when I do analyze my sales record when I'm getting my royalty statements and things like that, and I look at what's done well and what hasn't and what has correlated to a marketing campaign that I did. But by and large, in between when I am working, I don't look at sales because I don't need that additional pressure on myself. Truly, you have very little control over what happens once the book is out in the wild. You can put a great cover on it, you can do a marketing plan, you can do a lot of other things, and then a huge mega author can come out with a book on the same day and everybody buys that book and not yours. Or some other major event can happen and that can interfere with your book. I had a book come out on 9/11. I didn't sell a single copy for a full quarter, which was completely understandable because the country was consumed with other things. We did do a re-release a few months later and the book did hit a bestseller list. But if I had focused only on that first quarter, I would have really been discouraged in my career. So don't focus on that. Just focus on writing the best possible book you can at this moment in time. Then fear of the next step. What do I do next? How do I plan ahead for this new thing? Or how do I learn these skills that I'm going to need? For a long time, I was simply traditionally published, and then I started self-publishing, and it was a huge learning curve for me, and it was a lot for me to start taking in and understanding. Same thing with launching this channel. That was a massive learning curve, a bigger learning curve than I expected, believe me, in terms of video editing and all of that kind of stuff. And if I'd let that fear of what do I do next get in my way, I would have never launched the channel. I would have never self-published a book. I would have never gone anywhere. Here's the thing. If you're smart enough to write a book, you are smart enough to figure out the rest. And there are a million resources out there that weren't available when I first started in my career. You've got the internet, you've got forums, you've got YouTube videos, you've got a lot of things to help you get to that next step. There's also other people in the community, like you can find a community at Writing Compelling Fiction. The link is down below. And there will be people there who have been where you are and will help you through the process. I find a lot of writers tend to be very giving and helping other writers get to where they want to be. Here's the thing about fear. You're going to feel it whether you're writing your first book or your 50th book. I'm writing book 86, 87, I'm not sure now. And I still feel that fear. Like, what if it doesn't do well? What if this book isn't that good? What if I don't get this plot right? I worry about the same things as everybody else. The difference is I feel the fear and I write anyway. That used to be a motto up above my computer. Feel the fear and write anyway. That really is what you have to do. It's not going to go away. You're not going to suddenly become super confident with your writing overnight. It's just not how it works. You will, however, become a stronger, better writer if you can feel the fear and write anyway. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the other side of the page.